Hey all, so you didn't take it easy on me. So I'm going to go over the homework problems. I'm not actually going to go over the homework problems. I did them all and then I got down to the study guide, as you can see, and on it were every problem but two. So that took me quite a while just to do those problems. So we're just going to do the study sheet. If I have time to do a video later, I will, but you need the study sheet for the test tomorrow. So this is going to be a rather long video anyway. So we're going to get started. As you can see, we have every number but 4 and 6, I do believe. So that's kind of unfortunate, but at least you'll be able to see how to do all the problems. They're not exactly like the ones on the test, so you can't just memorize these, of course. So let's get going. The first one was on the study sheet, it says Lesson 57, Practice A. So this is an ideal gas problem. So let's just get that going. So this is Lesson 57. Oops, hold on. I'm probably going to rush too much and make a lot of mistakes. Lesson 57. I don't have a lot of time today, which is kind of unfortunate. Hold on, I need to make my pen a little smaller. Okay. Lesson 57. Why is that down there? Hold on. Why is that other thing there? Whew. Okay. So I guess it's going to live there. It won't go away. Oh, that's because someone did that to the help board. Lesson 57. A, practice A. All right, this is a gas pressure volume problem. So you have to know P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. They want you to find out what the pressure would be. So this is before we solved it for one of the pressures. So we're just going to plug them all in here. So it says that the temperature was 100 kelvins, so we're going to put that over 1,000 kelvins, so we're going to put the 1,000 down here. The pressure was 200. You don't need to put the units in until the end, and the volume was 8. Then we have over here, we're supposed to find pressure 2, so we're going to leave that in there. The volume was 10, increased to 10, so that means you make it 10, and the temperature was changed to reduced to 800. So you put those all in there. You just put, this is basically, you put everything in your calculator problem. I took the 200 and divided it into 1,000, got 5. And then I cross multiplied. I did some other crossing out here and there. But you're going to cross multiply. Let me get my calculator. So you get, I think I took this 0 out too. And that just kind of makes it fairly simple. So we're going to get 80 times 8. So we get 640 over, so I just cross multiplied that way, 640 over 5. And we get that the pressure is going to be 128 newtons per meter second. Okay, on this, if you don't have your units, you will not get full credit for the problem. Even if you forget them on every problem, you're going to miss it. I don't just say, oh, you get 1 off for all of them. You miss 1 point for every problem. Okay, 1 down, 18, 17 to go. Okay, question 2 was lesson 55, number 1. So this is a consecutive number problem. Yeah, and that's how it is. But the one on the test is even integers. This one is just consecutive integers. So this is lesson 55, number 1. Be patient with me while I turn to these problems. Find 3 consecutive integers. So this is not even, so it's just going to be x equals the first, x plus 2 equals the second, and x plus, whoops, this should be x plus 1. I was doing even. So if it's even, you're going to do x plus 2, x plus 4. So this is a second, and this is x plus 2 equals the third. So get your heading set up so that when they say the first, you know where to go. Okay, so it says find 3 consecutive integers such that the product of the first and the second. So the product means multiplying the first and the second is equal to the product of -6 and the third. So what this does is it's going to make it into a quadratic equation because you're going to get x squared plus x equals -6x minus 12. If it's quadratic, you have to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So we're going to get plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. And then you factor x plus 3. I'm assuming the one on the test is a factoring problem. I haven't looked at it for a while. So we're going to get x equals negative 3 and negative 4. If it says consecutive even like it does on the test, make sure these are even numbers. Now we're going to find them all. So make sure you list them all. So we're going to have negative 3. We're going to add 1, negative 2, and negative 1, and then we're going to have negative 4, negative 3, and negative 2. So those are going to be your solutions, these and these. All right, next. Number 3 is this one we didn't have to do? Let's see, I don't have the list. Let me just go back up and look at the list. Number 3, oh yeah, we have number 3. Okay. So number 3 is from lesson 52, the practice problem. Okay, so it's a practice problem. It's a mixture problem. It's with 2 variables. We've been doing them with 1 variable, but this one now is with 2 variables. So the one on the test is with 2 variables. Let me just double check. Yeah, okay, this is really similar to the one on the test. A chemist has one solution that's 25% salt, so we're doing the buckets. We're adding something. We put the percentages under, so 25% salt, 75% water. We don't need that number. We're only talking salt. This one's going to be 5% salt, and we want to make a solution that's 15% salt. Okay, how much is in it? We don't know how much X, we don't know how much Y, but we know we're going to end up with 1,600 milliliters. Since we have 2 variables, we're going to need 2 equations. The first equation is just right across the top. The second equation, you multiply 25 times x, 5 times y, and 15 times 1,600 is going to be 24,000. All right, I'm going to multiply the top one by a negative 5, and we're going to solve this by elimination. Negative 5x minus 5y equals something. Okay, I did it on my calculator. So 5 times 1,600 is 8,000. And it's going to be negative. All right. And then the bottom is 25x plus 5y equals 24,000. We add those together. We get 20x equals 16,000. And when you divide by 20, you get x equals 800 milliliters. That's for the 25%. Right, we solve for x, so that's your 25%. And then we're going to have y is also, it should be 800 milliliters of 5%. So that was that one. Okay, we can skip number 4, yay. Here we go, number 5. Number 5 was lesson 55, practice A and B. I'm only going to do A because I know which one is on the test and which one would help you the most. So 55A. Looks like this in a second. It's a scavenger hunt, right? M plus S over P equals A over X equals T. You are to solve for P. So we've done these lots and lots and lots of times. So these are the easier ones. We're gonna multiply everything by the common denominator. The P's cross out. We're gonna take everything times, it might be easier if I just do it like this. Everything times PX. So the P's cross out, so we get MX plus SX, this is the P, plus the X's cross out, so we get AP equals TPX. We're trying to get the P's together, so I'm going to do MX plus SX, and I'm going to move the AP to the other side to get it with the other P, and we're going to subtract it from both sides. We're going to factor out a P, so we get MX plus SX equals P times TX minus A, and then you just divide both sides by TX minus A, TX minus A. They actually factored the X out, which you don't need to, and so this is your final answer. All right, watch these again. If you didn't get a specific problem, just keep watching it until you get it, because I have to go rather quickly. There's a lot of problems. Okay, number 6. Number 6, I have to rethink this. I feel like you're doing your homework. Number 6, lesson 54. Is that one we didn't have to do? Yeah, we didn't have to do that. Let's not do it. Number 7. Number 7 is from lesson 47, practice D. 47D. Okay, we're going to use unit multipliers. So we have 207 miles per hour. I just want you to know on the test it is kilometers, so make sure you know how to change, what does it say? It's going to be feet per second to meters per hour. So you have to change feet into inches, into centimeters, etc. Yeah, I couldn't find an exact one in the book. 200 miles per hour, we're going to go to feet per second. So let's do our hour first. 1 hour is 60 minutes. We're going to seconds, so we need 1 minute is 60 seconds. And now we're going to change our miles into feet, which this one's a lot easier. So we're going to 1 mile is 5,280 feet. All the units cross out, so we end up with 207, except the ones we want, 5,280 feet per, and that's going to be 60. You can just leave it like this on the test. Bring your calculator. 60, that was a funny one, seconds. All right, so if you're going from feet into, let's see, on the test, we're going to be going from, let's see, we're going to go from feet to meters. So if you're going to go to feet, you would do 1 feet. So you would do 1 foot is 12 inches, and then you would put in 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. I'm going to run a room. And then you would take 100 centimeters is in 1 kilometer. So I'm giving you a big hint there. So make sure you know how to do all that. Okay, we're on number 8. Number 8, lesson 58. This is a completing the square with the coefficient. So it's going to look like this. 3x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. You can't have a coefficient in front of your x squared term, so you need to divide everything by 3. Every step that you get right on the test, you will get partial credit. If you don't divide it even by 3, probably won't get too much partial credit. Okay. All right, now, how do you complete the square? You normally, if it was a whole number, you would just divide by 2 and then square it. But it's a fraction, so dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. So we're going to get, this is 5/6, right? So square, it's going to be 25/36. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. Hopefully you have a calculator that can add fractions. 5/6. So basically, this goes here. Equals, add your fractions up, and we're going to get 97/36. And then you're going to take the plus or minus square root of both sides. So you get x equals, if I take the square root of both of these, right, this is going to be plus or minus. This comes out, I'm going to subtract the 5/6 over here, plus or minus the square root of 97/6. I know that was speedy, but I've done these every single week for the last couple weeks. So just go back and look at an old video where I go a little bit slower. Okay, next one. We are on number 9. This is number 9. It's lesson 48C. Lesson 48C. Okay, this is really like the one on the test. So you get x squared plus 3x minus 10 plus 2 equals x. Isolate the radical, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Equals x minus 2. So we need to square both sides. Just looking for the problem where I did this. Okay, square both sides, so we're going to get x squared plus 3x minus 10. When you square a square root, it cancels the square root out, but we have to do it on this side too, which is a foiling problem unless you know the mature way. You need to write it out, do first, outer, inner, last. The mature way is square the first one, multiply these two together times 2, which would be minus 4x plus 4. Once you get that there, x squareds cross out and you have a linear equation. Add 4x to both sides, you get 7x. Add 10 to both sides, you get 14. X equals 2. You have to check this. When you have a radical, you have to check it, put the 2 back in. This one does work, but oftentimes, even on the SAT, when you plug it back in, it has like a number equal to a negative number, and that won't work. So check it, and it needs to work. Okay, can't read what number we're on up there. Let's see what the next one is. We're on number 10. Number 10, lesson 24. Practice A, lesson 51-29. Okay, I chose one of those. I did lesson 51. I bagged that one. I found the one that was most like the one on the test. Lesson 51, number 29. Lesson 51, 29. So it looks like this, negative x minus 2 over 4 minus x plus 2 over 3 equals 3. Find the common denominator, which is 12, so we're going to multiply everything by 12. You need parentheses around your binomials. Really important. And don't forget to multiply the one on this side by the 12. So 4 goes into 12 3 times. I'm going to distribute the 3 through, so we're going to get negative 3x minus 6. 3 goes into 12 4 times. Don't forget this negative. So it's going to be a negative 4x minus 8 equals 36. Then you should get it from here. That's negative 7x. This is negative 14, and I'm going to add it to the 36, which is 50, and you get this really ugly answer. X equals negative 50 over 7. That's it. All right, halfway done. Yay. Actually, less than halfway done because I skipped a couple. Okay, number 11. Study lesson 56. So, oh, well, we didn't have to do 11. No one asked for 11. Okay, let's go to number 12. After finding the base, okay, so this one I couldn't find an example for, so I'm going to do it here. You guys are lucky if you're watching this video because you're going to learn how to do it. I just changed the numbers, but the problem is essentially the same. So we have a half circle, whoops, okay, you get the point, right, and half circle here. This one, the radius is 2. This one, the radius is 2. We're given that the height of this shape is, let's say it's 5 meters. We're supposed to find the area of that figure. So on the test it'll say the figure is the base of a right prism. Find the volume. We're finding the volume, not the area. I'm trying to go too fast. So we need to find the base of this. This is 11. This is 11. So we're going to take a rectangle. We're going to take this distance is going to be 2, and this distance is going to be 2. So the area of the rectangle is going to be 11 times 4. But we need to subtract out a circle. So this is going to be 44. We have 2 half circles, which makes a 1 circle. So I'm going to subtract off a pi. The radius is 2 squared, pi r squared. And when we multiply all that together, we're going to get 100 and, I don't know what I did. Oh, it's 31.44 is the area of this base, which is 11 times 4, subtracting off a circle because these are 2 half circles. And then we're going to take it times the height, which is 5, and you're going to get your final answer is 157.2 meters cubed. Again, units, it's volume, it's going to be cubed. Okay, number 13. It's lesson 26, practice D. Okay, this one's not exactly like the one on the test. I don't know which is easier, but it's one of these kind of problems. So it's going to be a ratio problem. So we have this kind of figure here. What I would do is separate them into 2 different triangles. So let's do that. Let's just make it into 2 different triangles just to show you what I would do. So you have the little one, which was the one that was inside here, is over here now. So let's put on the measurements. So the little one is 5, 4, an A. The big one is, the base is 8. All right, base is 8, and this is going to be A plus B, and this big one is C. So to do these problems, you're just going to use ratios. First, you have to get A. You do the Pythagorean theorem, 5 squared plus 4 squared. Square root of it is going to be the square root of 41. All right, I hope I copied this right because I'm looking on my paper here. All right, so now we're going to do the ratios. So we do left over right equals left over right. So we're going to do 8 over 5. And remember, this is the square root of 41 plus b. All right, so 8 over 5, and then we're going to do the square root of 41 plus b over, this is equal, the square root of 41. And then you would just cross multiply, so you get 8 square root of 41 equals 5 square root of 41 plus 5b. And then you're going to subtract square root of 41, so you're going to get 3 square root of 41 equals 5b. And then you're just going to divide both sides by 5. All right, so you're going to get this. And then this c is the easier one, so you would do 8 over 5. Let's see, I have no room there. I'm going to just throw it down here. 8 over 5 equals c over 4. And then you just cross multiply to get your answer to that one. All right, number 14. This is from lesson 23, number 15. All right, so this is you're supposed to solve by graphing. 2y minus 2x. We've been doing these since the beginning of time. Y plus x equals -2. Now, I look at my equations. If every number in the equation is divisible by a number, I reduce my equation before I do anything. I can divide everything by 2, and I get y minus x equals 4. And then you need to solve both of these for y. So you get y equals x plus 4, and y equals -x minus 2. Put it in slope-intercept form. We're going to graph it. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see I'm in a hurry. 4, rise 1, run 1. Okay, that's one line. All right, ideally you should have graph paper. If you have any to bring in tomorrow, that'd be great. I'll try to remember to bring some. There we go, we got that. And then we have the y-intercept down here is -2. The slope is down 1 to the right 1, so it's here. So we connect that. We graph our lines, and we, if you have graph paper, you're going to get a fairly decent estimate. It's going to be -3, 1. Now, it says on the test, find the exact solution. So I want you to find the exact solution. You can't just leave it there. You need to solve it by elimination or substitution. I might just do elimination right here. Just add these up. 2y equals 2. Y equals 1. See that? I just eliminated right from there. Or you could set your y's equal to each other. You could say x plus 4 equals -x minus 2. That would be more like substitution. So you need to actually get a exact answer using substitution or elimination. Okay, number 15. Lesson 51, number 7. This is an eye problem. It's not exactly like the one on the test. You just need to know how eyes work. Plus 2i minus 4 minus the square root of -5. On the test, you definitely have more square roots than eyes. So you have to know I squared is equal to -1. So this is going to end up being 5 times -1, which is -5. Here's an I squared, so it's going to be -1. So -1 times -8 is going to be +8, and we have an I left over. Then we have our 2i, we have our -4, and then we just need to pop our I out of that 5, square root of -5. Add your numbers together that are not imaginary. You get -9. Then add your i's together, so you get 10i minus the square root of 5i. If you want to be really complete, factor your I out of this. 10 minus the square root of 5i. That was a quick one. All right, number 16. Number 16 is lesson 47, practice A. So this is another fun one. This one actually has 2 different answers. 64 root 4. The one on the test can only have 1 answer, so don't worry about it. All right, so you need to get these bases the same. So they can both be written with a base 4. This is 4 cubed, and this is 4 to the 1/2. Just a hint, on the test it might be 27 and 3, so you're going to write 27 as 3 cubed. This is all to the 1/3 power. I'm going to add my exponents on my 4's, so it's going to be 7/2. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 to the 1/3 power, so we're going to get 4 to the 7/6. And that was fairly fast too. Okay, fractional exponents, you put the seat on the bottom. Number 17. This one is from lesson 46, number 11, and I think it looks like this. Did I do this one? hold on, let me just look it up. 46, number 11. 4611. Okay, it looks like this. The fourth root of x to the fifth, y to the third. There we go, yeah. To the cube root of x, y to the fifth. Okay, write them as fractional exponents. So x to the fifth, y to the third. This 4 is on the bottom, so it's going to be on the bottom's on the seat, so it's going to be on the bottom there. And it's going to be x to the xy to the fifth to the 1/3 power. Now you have power to power, so we're going to multiply that through. So we get x to the 5/4, y to the 3/4, x to the 1/3, y to the 5/3. I am not going to show you how to add the exponents, but this is when you add the exponents, when you add 5/4 and 1/3, you get 19/12. And when we add 3/4 and 5/3, we get 29/12. And that's your final answer. Moving on to number 18. Lesson 35. I said do practice C through E, but I'm just picking the one that's closest to the one on the test, which is this one, -125 to the -2/3 power. You can't raise a number to a negative power. You can leave the -1 on the top, but this is negative, so we're going to move it to the denominator and we're going to make it positive. So it's going to be 125 to the 2/3. All right, so fractional exponents. So the one on the bottom goes on the seat, which would be the 3. The 125 goes underneath, and then the 2 would square this whole thing. Well, the cube root of 125 is 5, and then we have to square it. It's going to stay positive. We're only squaring the positive part, so we're going to get negative over 25, -1 over 25, and that's your final answer. Number 19, which is lesson 36, practice B. Ooh, I got to write this guy down. It's really messy. 19, let me just go there, lesson 36. Way back in the beginning. A lot of these problems are really old. We've been doing them for a long time. So I kind of expect good results on the test because these are rerun problems. 36. Wait, make sure I got the right one. 36, practice B. Next lesson. All right, so the one on the test is one that you will have to factor out a common monomial. So I'm going to write the whole thing down here. X squared plus 2x minus 8 over x cubed minus 4x squared minus 21x. I'm going to flip it though. It's a flipper. So it's a dividing, so you're going to flip it over, put this on the top and this on the bottom. When you copy it, just flip it. Okay, now you have to factor it. So you need to factor out the common monomial factor, which would be x for this one. So it would be x squared minus 4x minus 21. And up here we can take out an x. It's going to be x minus 7. Now I'm going to factor it. So this is going to be x plus 4, x minus 2. Denominator, you got the x out there. So it's going to be x minus 7, x plus 3. And times x minus 7, x minus 2. You just start crossing out the like things. The x's cross out, and you end up with an x plus 4 over an x plus 3. That's it. Okay, last problem. Amazing. So this is number 20. We're doing lesson 33. Practice A and B are 16. Whoa, so I'm just going to put 16 up there. This is number 16. They're all the same. M over P plus 3 over ZP over ZP. No. That's what we're multiplying by. S over P. On the test, there's actually like another one, like something like 3 over Z or something like that. All right, but not in this problem. Find the common denominator of all the denominators, which is ZP, and multiply everything by ZP. These are super easy. ZP, ZP, I feel like I'm talking in Italian, ZP. So your P's cross out, so you get MZ. Your ZP's cross out, and you get plus 3. your P's cross out and you get SZ. All right, I did that in a little bit over 30 minutes, I guess. So hopefully everyone watched that and you're ready for the test. I do have the homework problems kind of ready, but we'll see if I can get a video in by tomorrow. So thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.